Kasabian are back with a brand new song called Call from forthcoming album Happenings out on May the 8th. I have no idea if that's true, but it feels right.
My day with you.
Uh, thank you. Um, well, Kasabian,
Well.
Oh gosh.
this is quite the turn for Kasabian. Or is it?
Well, it's been a
God.
downward trajectory.
Downward spiral.
Yeah.
Without doubt. Without doubt. But this song,
Oh,
You love?
I quite like it.
Oh dear.
And this is when I first heard it, I was thinking, Serge's midlife crisis well and truly still in full flow. However, I do quite like it. I've listened to it a lot, mainly because the main part of the song is like a minute and a half long, so I can just, skip the weird bits at the end. It kind of feels a bit like Beans on the 4813 B side.
Please do.
You say beans?
I did say Beans.
I really thought you meant Even Stevens beans. I thought, how is this possibly related to
better.
Stephen Allen? What's his name? Stephen Anthony. He's got three
Only
names.
you would know
He's
his
got
name.
three names. Beans. Hang on, one sec. Hang on, look us up. Beans. Stephen Anthony Lawrence. I was pretty close there. to be fair.
So close. It's like a lot of people saying that this doesn't feel like Kasabian, and obviously they do seem to be taking it in a bit more of a
bees!
different direction.
It's not the joke.
But no, this does kind of sound.
Did you actually say bees?
bees.
Yeah.
No, I said Beans.
Is that what you
My
were saying, though,
cat-
Jan?
my
I
cat
realise
with
now
a
that's what
Z on the end.
you were hinting at me. Supposed me to say bees.
So I'm lost. Were you meaning to say bees or beans?
Bee.
Is it,
Yeah.
No, Beans.
It's a song
Kasabian
called Beans.
Beans is a
Isn't
So,
it bees?
B-side.
so Yanni, you did
No.
the actual bees. You did the Job bees.
You're thinking of Bumblebee, I think.
Oh yeah.
I'm talking
Why
about the
did you say
B-side.
go on, Liam?
From-
What were you saying? I don't understand that.
Because normally whenever Callum says beans, you say beans in a funny accent.
When the hell do I say? I don't say
When
Beans
has
that
that
often.
ever happened?
You've done it before.
When?
When we've mentioned beans.
There are three different jokes going on here. This is just too much. We need to get past the
Oh,
beans.
Come on, let's rate it in. Back to the
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
Back to the
Anyway.
song.
Jeez.
It's a piece of shit. You shouldn't listen to it. It's really awful. But I think it has been expected. It's not come out of nowhere. They've not released a good song in a long time, and they've been going in this sort of more clubby direction. And it's just not good. At this point, it's just tarnishing. Well, I was going to say it's tarnishing the Kasabian brand, but I think that's already happened. Even more so
It's not making it any better.
in a musical sense, I would say.
Kasabian have always had this in them though. Like ID on the first album is more synthy, bit dancey.
It's a
Beans.
different kettle of fish, though, Carl.
I think
it's a different kettle of fish.
What makes this worse is that I know the rest of the album will probably sound something similar to this because that
Yeah,
algorithms
yeah.
I think were similar. But they've always been on the fine line of having stuff like this and then more of the rockier stuff.
I think.
Whereas
the
this is now
guitars-
I'm not finished. Now,
The man's still speaking, Carl.
transition into
Oof.
just pure beats.
Pure
and
pish.
It doesn't really work for me. It doesn't feel like a band anymore. Maybe that's it. You know what I mean? It just feels like Serge doing
Yeah.
it himself.
Can I
Yeah,
talk now?
you
No.
can now speak.
Thank you. Well, yeah, Serge was doing the SLP, and then obviously the whole Tom situation occurred, and then he probably thought, I don't need to do the SLP anymore. I will just do it as Kasabian, which is fair enough. But if the guitars were turned up a little bit, I think it would be all right. I like it. I'm enjoying the song.
Yeah, but you do
It's
like
pretty
some
fun.
shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah. Liam, you said you don't have much to say on the song, but you have a lot to say on Kasabian.
Yeah,
Do you have anything to say that's not been said?
It's mostly been said here. It's just such a shame. West Rider is one of my favourite albums of all time, and it was one of the first albums that I ever conceived of as a young boy. It was one of the first bits of music that actually I logged onto. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I never logged off. And I'm still here. I'm tapped into the Matrix. But like just to see that trajectory downwards, that spiral. I mean, it's not been since then. I think Foxtrot is a great album, and the next couple were all right too. But like these, since Tom leaving, I just can't believe that he was the one holding them together in any real way. Like even for crying out loud, had some decent tunes on, and wasn't this for sure.
Yeah.
And for the next album then to be The Alchemist's Euphoria, which I've had to check because what kind of name is that? It's just it's madness. Like Serge was here the whole time, wasn't he? Was he?
Serge has been the songwriter,
Yeah,
the
whole
sole
time.
songwriter since before. It was him and Chris Karloff on the first album, and then
Well,
I'm
I
pretty
wasn't aware
sure
of
it's
that.
just been.
So
Pretty sure it's just been Serge this whole time.
So you can't even say it was Tom that was holding them together or keeping them on one particular path or whatever. Because if Serge has been in charge the whole time, then it's all his doing.
I think it's tricky because with Serge having to take over the reins as the front man after deciding to keep releasing stuff under the Kasabian name. I mean, he's kind of damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. If they
I
keep
don't
the
think
same,
so.
he's not Tom as a front man. So
Yeah, but you can't
people
go
would say
this
that.
far the other way.
Yeah, fair
It's
enough.
a madness.
Fair enough.
Like of all the albums that have come before these last two, there's a lot of variety that they could tap into.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know, these
fair play.
could sound like you said, like the first album. You know, I'd love to hear a new kind of take on that first album now, if you wanted to do that. But it's just pure commercial pop, kind of very thinly veiled as something slightly more kind of rocky or whatever. I don't know. It's not even, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's not even at this point with this song in particular. Like
No, this isn't a rock band song for sure.
it's pretty. It's not basic. I don't think that's the right word to say. It's just not good or like exciting in any real way whatsoever. Who's excited by this? The amount of people that like, you know, like I say, West Rider completely. It was one of the very first few albums
He's broken.
that actually fully turned me onto music. I didn't care. It was this. It was probably Viva La Vida and Inside In, Inside Out. Do you know what I mean? They were kind of the first three albums that I owned and was like, oh, I love this stuff.
Mhm.
And fully influenced everything from there. And what is this song going to do for anyone?
Yeah, I mean,
I know
as much
I
as
know
I
it's
do
very
enjoy
from
it-
my viewpoint. I know that. I'm aware of that, and that's my circumstance. But I think that's the case for most of those first bunch of Kasabian albums.
yeah,
Yeah.
I completely get what you're saying, and as much as I enjoy it, if this was like a band's first stuff, they wouldn't last.
No.
And I think my enjoyment is very surface level. Whereas, as you're saying about West Rider in particular, that's a important album for me and all. But yeah, it's hard to believe it's the same. Well, 3/4 of the same band. But yeah,
If I wasn't
mean-
if I wasn't aware of Serge's voice, and someone was like, "Oh, this is," I'm just gonna pick a random name, fucking Jonas Blue. I don't even know what his songs sound like, but Jonas Blue's tried to do a bit of like kind of a dubsteppy sort of sound, but pretty laid back dubstep. I'd go, yeah, that sounds about right. That's what this sounds like, and great. And it would mean nothing more. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't. It's only because he's involved that anyone cares, and I think to put it under the Kasabian banner is, it sounds strong to say it's like an insult, but it just is not right. It just doesn't add up. It's not aligning. The universe isn't aligning here. This isn't. Kasabian should have just stopped if that was what he felt like was the right thing to do, was to go in a completely different direction. Don't call it Kasabian.
he wasn't gonna do arenas as the SLP though, was he? So
Yeah. So I mean, it's a whatever.
yeah, and there we have it. Some very different thoughts from us fools on Call by Kasabian. What do you think? Let us know. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.